Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, beautiful, beautiful individual you. Today, I would like to speak a little about your whole body and being as a sense organ, or a sense instrument, really. By utilizing your whole being in what you do, in if it should be meditation, if it should be movement in communication, because you are using your whole body in communication. Or if it is perceiving with our outer senses, or if it's perceiving inward towards our emotions, or maybe it is observing our will impulses as they occur. Just disconnecting a teensy bit with your ego, your spirit, halfway releasing it from the being. It's not possible to just go out of your body and go away, but you can loosen your inner etheric a little bit so that you can actually, with your ego, observe your own inner being objectively. Of course, as objectively as we can with our whole being. It wouldn't be objective without our whole being. See, since we are cutting out part of it, it wouldn't be objective. Your emotions are very, very honest. And they also tells you a lot of secrets, a lot of riddles, if we should call it that. And for us to, cultivate our intellect and our minds with the help of our heart. Because when you combine and let feeling cooperate with your thoughts and align and harmonize our whole being, thinking, feeling, willing, so that the spirit is utilizing them in the best way possible. That is how we also train our being, train our instrument with our spirit to be able to perceive more and more of the world, and also in our inner being in relation to the world. We can, of course, also take ourselves completely out of the world and study ourselves anthropomorphically. But for us to truly come to a context and an understanding of what a human being is, we need to study, the whole earth, more or less. The plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, and then the human kingdom. Once we have come to certain understandings of these things through feeling, through alive, metamorphic, and transforming thoughts, that means you have the archetype of a plant in your being, in your mind, in your mind's eye, in your clairvoyance. And you can have that one plant transform into another plant through transformation of the thought, in a sense. So when you look outwards and see all the plants that are in active growth in their etheric body, their mineral body is kind of hidden. You have to use your imagination here. It is a transforming thing. So by tapping into this alive and transforming active thinking, you become alive to the transforming, changing, and always flowing surroundings around you in the present moment. And there are a lot of taking note on, surveying our inner being in relation to the outer. It is so important to take care of and nurture and strengthen our own inner being through devotion and reverence, because the higher beings assist us in lifting us up and in strengthening our clairvoyant and spiritual faculties and abilities to be able to truly deepen our ego. Deepen, when I say ego, I mean spirit. To deepen our knowledge of the world, of this lifetime, of whatever might occur, and extracting and learning from it, the lessons, growing, deepening, expanding, and everything in between, really. This, of course, requires a choice and an active activity and effort daily. The more you do it, the more it snowball effects. It becomes stronger and stronger. You see more and more, and you want to study more and more, and it becomes just a blessing in on itself, truly. It is not, we do not work towards a certain goal or a certain predestination. We always work, moving forward, striving towards the sun forces, striving towards good, striving towards love. And through mastering our own inner being, not only inner being, out in the world, communication, observation of feelings, understanding of feelings, and directing of will impulses, by mastering our thinking and feeling. Thinking first has to be mastered to the highest degree possible we can. And that means making our thoughts mobile, but also under our jurisdiction, under our own inner being. Our thoughts we transform and utilize and cooperate with so that it brings about transformation. And we are constantly transforming, unfolding, and developing. Unless you, of course, imagine yourself as static and staying in one place, you crystallize there then. And that is the age you will, based on where you settle down, is where you crystallize. But if you actively, daily, always wish to absorb, learn, grow, develop, stretching the hand out in sacrifice to the higher beings, because that is what it is. But what if that sacrifice is no longer, struggle and strife, but it becomes enjoyable? And not enjoyable as in constant, happiness and bliss and all of this. Bliss is all okay. It is more or less a hint that yes, this is good. But we should not stop there. We should move further, because we wish to consciously grow into the spiritual world through the Christ. The Christ allows us to preserve a spiritual form of our physical, etheric, and astral when we pass through the gate of death. So we have an instrument to perceive things in the realm of the spiritual. Remember, passing is but a rebirth into the spiritual world. If we refuse to grow, develop, and spiritualize ourselves in this lifetime, it will be very much hard to pass into a new rebirth into Kamaloka, into the afterlife, or the rebirth into spiritual life. We will pass through many different spheres between death and a new birth, And it is about finding out and giving the certain prerequisite information and understandings of where we are, what we're doing, where we're going, what we can expect moving forward, and also that we are incarnating many more times. Because this is our human, earthly development that we all partake in, and we are to spiritualize this earth. The more interested we become in this, the more assistance we are given. And it has nothing to do with being favored or being put higher than anyone. Every single human being is equal in God's eyes. That is just truth. But grace, there are so much pain, suffering, and karma on this earth. And grace it is not about favor. It is not about luck, and it is not about being lifted up above anyone. It is about since we do not otherwise have any comfort in such a karmic world, the higher beings from the future gives us grace to keep on going. That is reality. So until we can actually clear our own inner being so that we become a more healing force, a more uplifting and understanding human being, so that we can operate and participate in this development actively, lovingly, understandingly, despite all of the inner turmoil that might show up. The inner turmoil is for us to, well, come to understand, and through perseverance, it will always pass. It will always clear up that. But of course, we shouldn't feed it judgments that, it's not called for in a sense. Yes, we are in full opportunity and a right to do so. Be angry, be, having all of these and sitting there projecting outwards, not thinking of our own inner being. But you see what you do when you project outwards. You deny your own being inner development. And that is why we should come to master our own inner being, so that we can handle these things. It's easy to blame others. It's easy to put certain connotations on different groups or different this or different that. But when you are mastering yourself, when you are going inwards, but not inwards to run away from the world, but inwards to master oneself, to be able to, as fully and clearly as possible, express yourself in the most valuable way, loving way, nurturing way. It's easier said than done, of course, because we do have a lot of karma. We do have a lot of inner turmoil, as we said. But with that inner turmoil, do you push it outwards and project it, or do you sit with it? When you sit with these feelings, you are comforting. You are comforting your own inner being. And by doing so, you heal. Shedding tears too is really a beautiful catharsis, because it is healing to the soul. And you let yourself surrender to the water and to, Of course, you can be a hardball also and believe that. You know what I mean here. But I cannot take these people seriously, because cold and dry and hard. Who would want that? Who want to live like that? Certain types of people, of course, and we do not judge them as such. We love them. But to have a certain hope, to have a certain faith and love, it is mushy, It is warm. It is something malleable, transforming and flowing, and like fire, air, and water. Of course, we do have earth also, the heaviness of the earth that allows us to become visible and allows us to operate in an individual body to perceive the world around us. A body created for the world around us, to be able to perceive in many different ways and in many variations and from many different cultures and experiences, It is all about having having an all-rounded perspective of things in morality and love. It is about understanding and compassion. And compassion has to be chosen. It has to be sustained. It has to be actively, with effort, built every single day. It is not given to you. These abilities to truly compassionately and empathically understand others is not something you can be given the seeds of it. Everyone is. But we as individuals have to use our ego, our I am, to strengthen this inner ability for compassion and empathy. That means sitting consciously with our own inner being, clearing out anything that might come in the way of it. Easier said than done, but the work is continuous, and it is not the goal we're looking for. Where the work in itself is the enjoyable, is the enjoyment to sit within whatever might come. And throughout the whole day, a lot happens within our own inner being. So when the night and you are about to go to sleep, you look back at the whole day and you remember everything, or you don't. If you remember anything and everything, look backwards at the whole day and you can extract any kind of insights that might occur to you. It's about curiosity, but also a certain form of duty. Because if we do not come to terms with what we went through at the whole day, it will fester. It will go down into and become a problem or a challenge, you see. But if you are willing to go through whatever you felt pain about, whatever you went through when it came to heavy moments, with compassion, higher beings will help you. They assist us continuously, but it has to be done in a certain elegant way. It has to be of course, we will be clumsy at first, but it is about the practice. It is about the dedication and the consistency, the continuous effort of work. And we do not do this to be acknowledged and validated from the outer world. We work to do this to be validated by the higher beings. They know validation. And these guys, if you can impress the higher beings, you are onto something, obviously. But to never ever become arrogant and believe yourself above anyone, because they do not do this because they wish for you to become arrogant or prideful. No, they wish for us to become nurturing, loving, compassionate, understanding, so that no matter what human beings comes into our lives, we have a certain grace and elegance to how we go through it. And we cannot always succeed in this. Sometimes we do make errors. Sometimes we do become angry and frustrated, right? Irritable. But registering that, becoming aware of it, and to transform it. Because it is fully possible. You are not static. You are not one being your whole life. Yes, your ego is the center, but your body around your ego, around your blood, will constantly transform. And your ego will deepen itself. Your spirit will deepen itself from the work. So, by having the humility and also the surrender and serenity to be able to ask higher beings for help in honesty, they will do so. So, I think I will leave you with this today. I love you so much. I just felt like having a little more gentle video today. We are going through so many different areas of perception and regions of emotions and regions of serving when we do this work. So it might look like we are kind of many different people in one being. And we kind of are, but you are just one ego there, the Christ united, and all of these forces that wish to drag you everywhere becomes united under the love, under the center. So unite your whole being under your ego, unite all of your faculties, and you will not be disappointed. But humility, dignity, as a human being, because arrogance is never the way. There is a reason why pride comes before a fall, It's a saying. So be grateful Gratitude counteracts pride. Pride is you feel entitled to something, but you are constantly given these things. You see? And why should you feel prideful for something you are given? It's like, I was given this and this is mine now. I wouldn't feel very comfortable with that. No, grateful. Gratitude for every single good feeling, every single optimistic and positive, uplifting thought. Grateful for every will impulses that is healthy and good. Every single little food you eat, every single drop of water you drink, every breath of air you breathe, and every smell of the flowers and life you smell, and every perceptions of life you see, and animals, humans, plants, minerals. Gratitude, reverence. That is how you deepen your soul and spirit to something we otherwise do not perceive out of choice in many ways. So, may Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient hierarchy, ancient masters of all, higher hierarchy, ancestors from every incarnation, bless, protect, guide, and love you on your beautiful, amazing individual journey that we all are embarking upon towards union in the future, towards the good, true, beautiful, moral, balanced judgment, dedication, effort, and warmth. Thank you so much. Love you all. Goodbye.